of Sheikh Muhammad Aman al-Jami rahimahullah. And so Naqid al-Rabi', the fourth Naqid, the fourth invalidator or nullifier, من اعتقد أن غير هدي النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أكمل من هديه وأن حكم غيره أحسن من حكمه كالذين يفضلون حكم الطواغيت على حكمه فهو كافر. Whoever believes that other than the guidance of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is more complete or is more perfect than his guidance, and that the judgment of other than him is better than his judgment, like those who prefer and consider more excellent the judgment of the tawaghit, the false deities, over his judgment, then this person, فَهُوَ كَافِرٌ, then he is a disbeliever. So regarding this Naqid, then the Shaykh says, illustrating how this type of Naqid can manifest itself, he says, the one, for example, who believes that what the Prophet ﷺ came with, it was limited by time and place. It was limited to time and place. Or it was befitting only for a bygone era, a time which has passed. In a nation, for example, in which the Prophet ﷺ was sent, and that this nation was basically, it was in need of things like prayer and sujood and ruku' and zakat and things like this, which were necessary for that particular nation to rectify that nation. These were affairs that were legislated for them in that time, in that place, in that era, for that particular group of people, because it was something that would break their harsh nature, make them generous, change their society, like these kind of things basically, right? So a person comes and he says these types of things, he is the one who is intended in this Naqid. Or he might say, for example, that certain ahkam of the Sharia, certain rulings of the Sharia, like for example prayer and zakat, that they are no longer applicable to us. They're not applicable to us because we do other actions, and so these are not applicable to us. Or he might start giving them figurative explanation that salah really means something else. It just means tasbih, right? It just means dua, right? And we're doing that, right? Or Hajj means to visit our sheikhs, and we visit our sheikhs in their homes. This is Hajj. This is meaning a pilgrimage, right? Or whatever. And so they start giving these batini type, these esoteric explanations of the symbols of Islam and the main symbols of worship, and they explain them away. And he believes that the Islam which the Messenger came with, that has already ended. It ended with the time of the companions, with the time of the generations which have gone past. And as for now, then because of progress, civilization, industry, technology, things like that, the whole thing is changed, and those ibadat, those prohibitions are no longer applicable. They don't apply anymore. They are abolished, and therefore we are no longer mukallafin. We are no longer responsible to abide by them or tasked with abiding by them. Such a person is a kafir, kufran bawahan, manifest open disbelief. And by agreement of those people of knowledge whose agreement is considered. So that's another manifestation that the Shaykh gives. And likewise, another manifestation are those who, for example, they take from the ahkam al-wad'iyya, from the secular qawaneen, from the laws which are secular laws, and they prefer them over and above the laws of Islam. And it might be, for example, the customs of a group of people, or the customs of a nation, or the habits of a nation. So they take them and they follow them, they prefer them, and they prefer them over what the Messenger of Allah came with. Then likewise, these people they have also invalidated their Islam, because anyone who makes tafdeel, as per this Naqid, who makes tafdeel, considers more excellent the hukum of anyone upon the hukum of Allah and His Messenger, and upon what the Messenger came with, then this is person فَهُوَ كَافِرٌ بِالْإِجْمَاعِ. By unanimous consensus, this person is upon disbelief. And the Shaykh then gives different manifestations of this. So this can take place, for example, by way of those, many of these people who enter into politics, and in politics where they legislate, by way of the parliaments, and they legislate affairs, either because they consider these affairs to be better and superior than what Islam came with, or they might not hold that they are better or superior, but they simply believe it is permissible to do so, even though it's not. In either of these two situations, then this is also an invalidator of Islam. And you see many of these people, the Shaykh says that it makes no difference whether they bring these qawaneen from themselves, so they devise them from themselves, and then they might use the argument, no, we're not bringing foreign qawaneen, we're not bringing secular qawaneen, they're not from foreign sources. Right? It makes no difference whether they bring them from themselves, right, enact them from themselves, or whether they import them from outside. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing, right? Whether they say that these laws are better, or whether they say it is simply permissible to do so, right, in either of these two situations as well, then all of that is a naqid from the nawaqid of Islam, whether they brought them from themselves or whether they imported them from outside. And so here clearly said, كَالَّذِينَ يُفَضِّلُونَ حُكْمَ التَّوَاغِيتِ عَلَى حُكْمِهِ فَهُوَ كَافِرٌ. So as for Tawaghit, then we covered this previously.